And in international news, scientists race to develop Ebola vaccine, but warn no shortcuts. With us as we unpack this story. Pope Leo XIV has emphasized that authentic liturgical renewal, rooted in the Church's living tradition, strengthens evangelization and fosters unity within the Church. During his Wednesday General Audience in St. Peter's Square, the Holy Father continued his catechesis on the Second Vatican Council's Constitution on the Sacred Liturgy, Sacrosanctum Concilium, reflecting on the relationship between tradition and development in the liturgy. We have a Vatican News report read by Charity Chilanga.
The Pope noted that the liturgy has been for centuries a driving force for evangelization and stressed that this missionary energy must continue today in continuity with the authentic Catholic tradition. Pope Leo XIV explained that Sacrosanctum Concilium encouraged liturgical reform in order to deepen the Christian life of the faithful and promote active participation in sacred mysteries. He observed that the Church as a living organism grows and develops while remaining faithful to her foundation, noting that the liturgical renewal is closely linked to the renewal of the Church's entire life and mission. The Holy Father also urged priests to celebrate the liturgy with humility, fidelity, and respect for the liturgical norms, emphasizing that authentic worship strengthens ecclesial communion and openness to God. Pope Leo XIV further recalled that the Council Fathers affirmed the importance of preserving sound tradition, while remaining open to legitimate progress, allowing the faithful to participate more fully in the Paschal mystery of Christ. He concluded by warning against arbitrary changes to the liturgy, stressing that true liturgical progress must always foster unity within the Church and remain rooted in authentic tradition.
Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Ben Malunga Piri says the revised Constituency Development Fund CDF guidelines clearly define what projects can and cannot be funded, a move aimed at promoting transparency and improving the use of resources. He made the remarks during a press briefing in Lilongwe, where he appeared alongside Minister of Information Shadrack Namalomba. Piri further noted that the current administration has significantly increased the devolution of resources to local councils with about 9 to 10% of the national budget now allocated to local authorities, mainly for infrastructure development. He added that the reformed CDF shifts development from a supply-driven to a demand-driven approach, giving communities the power to set their own priorities, where a performance-based system is expected to strengthen accountability. Piri explains.
Tariga has made it clear he is running a corrupt-free government. And if anyone, be it a minister or otherwise, tries to provoke him in that area, then he will face the law in its entirety. The same has been adopted by ourselves at the ministry. It doesn't matter whether it is my secretary for local government who is a reverend to whosoever, as long as it is corruption, we will not hesitate. The full strength of the law will have to pounce on him. Such words have been said before. And Honorable Minister, people will be saying, we have heard that before. I invite all of you to try us this time around, and you'll be a good example. To demonstrate our seriousness in that area, we have signed an MOU, and it is not the headquarters that have signed, it is the councils.
Economic expert Mike Banda has described this year's tobacco market as one of the poorest in recent years, warning that the low prices being offered to farmers could negatively affect Malawi's foreign exchange earnings. His remarks comes amid growing complaints from farmers over unsatisfactory prices, as figures from the Tobacco Commission indicate a drop in both tobacco sales, volumes and revenue compared to the same period last year. Emmanuel Chocha reports.
Speaking to Luntha Television, Banda said the current challenges facing the tobacco industry highlight the urgent need for Malawi to diversify its economy by investing in alternative cash crops and strengthening sectors such as mining to boost foreign exchange generation. He noted that although tobacco remains Malawi's main source of foreign currency, the industry has experienced steady decline in recent years due to shift in global demand and supply trends, factors that continue to affect prices and overall earnings.
We've been calling upon the country through different leaderships to start diversifying, because we've seen over time the decline in the tobacco sales, depending on the global market pricing. And I think this year it's been one of the worst. If you look at the rejection rate, if you look at the prices that are being offered to our farmers.
The Tobacco Commission has revealed that in the fourth week of this year's tobacco marketing season, 19.3 million kilograms of tobacco have been sold, generating $40.8 million. This is slightly lower than the same period in 2025, when 22.4 million kilograms were sold, fetching $51.9 million. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, this is Emmanuel Chocha.
The Public Health Institute of Malawi has assured that Malawi has intensified preparedness and response measures to prevent the importation and spread of the Ebola Bundibugyo virus disease (BVD) amid confirmed cases in the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda. Speaking during a media orientation session on Ebola Bundibugyo virus disease (BVD), cholera and Rift Valley fever held in Lilongwe on Wednesday, Deputy Director of the Public Health Institute of Malawi, Flora Dimba, noted that whilst Malawi has not recorded any confirmed Ebola cases, it is at risk, but they are working closely with partners and stakeholders to strengthen prevention interventions. Tandiwe Nzumara has filed this report.
According to Dimba, surveillance systems have been reinforced in all districts and health facilities to ensure early detection and reporting of suspected cases, adding that screening measures at airports and other entry points have also been intensified. Authorities have also established coordination with Malawi Defense Force officials regarding soldiers serving on peacekeeping missions in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, one of the countries affected by the current Ebola outbreak. She further explained that Zerga refugee camp has set up screening measures for all new arrivals as part of efforts to prevent possible importation of the disease into the country. In terms of case management, government has identified facilities and infrastructures for handling Ebola cases in priority districts including Lilongwe, Blantyre, Dowa, Karonga, Chitipa, Mwanza and Nidza. The country has also updated infection prevention and control guidelines and distributed starter packs of personal protective equipment, PPEs, to support frontline health workers. Authorities say critical medical and logistical supplies are currently available as Malawi strengthens its readiness to respond to any potential Ebola outbreak. Meanwhile, the media has been encouraged to responsibly share accurate and timely health information so as to build public trust and counter misinformation. Health authorities have since called for continued strengthened collaboration to protect lives and keep Malawi prepared. The World Health Organization (WHO) declared an Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo a public health emergency of international concern on the 16th of May. For Luntha News, this is Tandiwe Mzumara.
The Gen Answer Foundation has said it remains committed to assisting vulnerable groups in the country through various humanitarian initiatives aimed to complement government efforts in reducing suffering among disadvantaged communities. Executive Director of the Gen Answer Foundation, Yusuf Ntenda, said this during the donation of 15 cows at Muslims at Medina Mosque to Muslims at Medina Mosque in Lilongwe as part of the Eid al-Adha celebrations. More in our report, filed by Gift Kalonga.
Ntenda said the foundation works closely with partners to implement humanitarian activities aimed at reaching people in need across the country. He noted that the organization prioritizes support to communities that often lack assistance from both government and other service providers. He added that the foundation's interventions are designed to complement ongoing efforts to reduce vulnerability in society, with focus on ensuring that disadvantaged groups receive essential support to improve their living conditions.
This donation will go a very long way in assisting the Muslims who have prayed Eid al-Adha today, so that they can feast together with the rest of the Muslims.
Sheikh Abdulhakim Musa expressed gratitude for the donation, saying it came at a meaningful time as Muslims were celebrating Eid. He said the gesture would help many underprivileged families who are unable to afford livestock, allowing them to participate fully in the celebration through shared meat distribution.
Alhamdulillah, this Eid comes once a year, Eid al-Adha, because we were celebrating this Eid, slaughtering animals because of our beloved father Ibrahim and his son Ismail. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded us to follow what our beloved Nabi was doing before us.
Meanwhile, the Gen Answer Foundation said it is committed to complementing government efforts by supporting vulnerable and marginalized groups, focusing on improving livelihoods and reaching those often left behind. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, this is Gift Kalonga.
You are still watching news on Luntha Television. We take a short break and we'll be back.
Announcement: transition to cashless ticketing. Malawi Airlines would like to inform all valued customers that effective 1st May, all ticket purchases will be conducted exclusively through cashless transactions. As part of this transition, payment will be accepted via bank transfers and POS machines for various banks available at our offices. This measure is designed to streamline our processes, reduce transaction times, and ensure a safer, more secure way of completing bookings. Cashless ticketing will complement our existing online booking platforms, our website, and our mobile application, while aligning with global aviation practices that embrace digital payment solutions. We encourage all customers to prepare for this change by making use of the available electronic payment facilities. Our sales and airport staff will be available to guide and assist customers during this transition. For further assistance, please contact our customer service team via customerrelations@malawianairlines.com or call our support line. We remain committed to serving you with dignity, efficiency and care as we embrace this new chapter. This announcement is brought to you by Malawi Airlines Management.
Malawi Airlines, from the warm heart of Africa.
Welcome back. If you have just joined us, you are watching news on Luntha Television. But before we proceed, another look at the headlines. Pope Leo XIV says liturgical renewal and tradition strengthen evangelization. Government optimistic revised CDF guidelines will boost transparency and community-driven development. APAM calls for stronger protection of people with albinism after brutal killing in Chiluno. And in international news, scientists race to develop Ebola vaccine, but warn no shortcuts. The Association of People with Albinism in Malawi, APAM, has called on government to urgently strengthen protection measures for people with albinism following the gruesome murder of Chipiriro Laston from Chiluno. APAM President Yang Muhamba made the remarks after post-mortem examination conducted on Laston's body has revealed that the deceased was severely assaulted with a metal object and sustained a crushed skull. More details in this report filed by Alison Banda.
Speaking on the matter, the president of the Association of People with Albinism, Yang Muhamba, said people with albinism are living in fear following the brutal killings of 2 persons with albinism within the past 2 months. He also since appealed to the government to urgently intervene, just as it did in a case related in Nsanje and Chikwawa districts. Muhamba also called for resumption of previously proposed safe housing initiative for people with albinism, saying many remain vulnerable and lack adequate protection.
We are very devastated because this person was a very useful figure in our association. He was a useful member and very influential. You should know that he also contested in the previous elections as a councillor. So you can see that he was very ready to save the community. And he was also a teacher. He had a private school of his own. So he was very useful to the community.
Meanwhile, Commissioner of Malawi Human Rights Commission, Boniface Massa, described the incident as deeply saddening, saying it is unfortunate that some people still hold harmful beliefs about people with albinism. He stressed the need for government to ensure stiff punishment for all those involved in the killings.
It's regrettable that we still have cases of missing persons with albinism and also leading into death. One colleague went missing in March, and 2 days ago, through the investigations by the Malawi Police Service, we got information that they had apprehended one of the guys who had the body parts of a person with albinism. Upon being questioned, that's when he revealed that this was about the person that went missing in March.
Traditional leaders in the area has also expressed shock over Chipiriro's death, describing him as a respected man, hardworking, and a dependable man who served as a teacher at a nursery school in the area and also actively contributed to the community. Chipiriro Laston went missing on March 9, and his body was discovered on May 25 after police arrested one of the suspects.
Communities in the catchment areas of Kadecom Focus Project in Balaka district have commended the project, saying apart from eating fortified food, the project is economically empowering them. Grace Timothy, who is the chairperson for the Njanji Beekeeping Club under Traditional Authority Matola, made the remarks during a Kadecom demonstration day held at Kwisa Community Ground in the district. Andrew Nandolo has filed this report.
According to Timothy, apart from encouraging communities to plant and eat fortified foods, the Focus project is also empowering them economically. She noted that some beneficiaries are able to pay school fees from selling farm products, including sweet potatoes and honey.
Ndilokondwa kwambiri chifukwa choti Kadecom mulendo umene abwerawu atipasa chimanga cha makono ndi kutilimbikitsa kuti muchimanga chichi tilimbikire kulima chifukwa muli mchere wa vitamin A ndipo ni mchere umene ukuthandiza kuti tisamadwale kutupa kapena kunyenchera, komanso pali matenda osiyanasiyana amene akusowa vitamin kumafupi ana, koma tikamadya chimanga chimene chimene chikubwera ni mchere kale nkone kuti matenda amene wasatikhuzayi.
Kadecom Programs Officer Anne Kondowe Kachale praised the progress the project is making, attributing it to the cordial relationship between Kadecom, Balaka District Council and civil society organizations. She said the past 1 year implementation has been of good results.
Our plus for this project over the year is that we have been able to work so well with government structures, especially the Department of Nutrition with Balaka District and also the hospital. So we worked so well with government as well as civil society organizations.
Kadecom, with the funding from European Union through Self-Help Africa, is implementing a 5-year focus project in the districts of Balaka, Deza, Blantyre and Cholo. Reporting from Balaka, this is Andrew Nandolo.
And in international news, scientists in the United Kingdom who helped develop the Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine and previously worked during the 2013 Ebola outbreak are now racing to create a new vaccine targeting the Bundibugyo strain of Ebola spreading in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. The current outbreak has no approved vaccine or treatment, raising concerns among health officials as cases and deaths continue to rise in affected areas. We have an Africa News report read by Patrick Pupa.
Head of Vaccine Immunology at the University of Oxford's Pandemic Science Institute, Professor Teresa Lambe, says scientists are working urgently but carefully, stressing that vaccine development cannot bypass safety procedures. She said, although progress is being made quickly due to past experience with Ebola and COVID-19 research, no shortcuts can be taken in human trials. The outbreak comes amid ongoing insecurity in eastern Congo, where conflict and disrupt of outsiders have complicated efforts to deliver health messages and contain the virus. Health systems in the region have also been weakened by 8 cuts, while some health centers have reportedly been destroyed, further slowing response efforts. Officials say Congo has experienced multiple Ebola outbreaks in the past and remains capable of responding, but experts warn that delays in identifying the current strain have already caused valuable time.
Welcome back from our international update. Next up is the weather update brought to you by the Department of Climate Change and Meteorological Services. Tabiwa Kutamutu has more in this weather update.
Good evening, and it's time for weather forecast. Cold conditions were experienced over most areas this morning, with Kamuzu International Airport and Deza reporting the lowest at 10 degrees Celsius 11 over Vumbwe, Nzuzu, Kasungu and Bolelo, while Nzimba also experienced cold conditions at 13 degrees Celsius. We are currently expecting partly cloudy conditions to persist over most areas, accompanied by occasionally windy conditions. We are also expecting cool to cold temperatures to persist over most areas tonight as well as tomorrow during morning hours, accompanied by fog patches. Mwela winds will also continue blowing over our lake water bodies such as Lake Malawi and Lake Chirwa. Hence, we are still advising all lake users, including fishermen, to continue being very observant. This is all due to the influence of this high pressure system, which is still pumping in fairly moist and cool southeasterlies into the country, influencing these conditions. This is also why tonight we are still expecting partly cloudy conditions to persist over most areas in the south, the central as well as the northern part of the country, accompanied by cool temperatures as well as occasionally windy conditions and fog patches in some areas. Similar conditions are also expected tomorrow in the morning hours, accompanied by isolated rain showers in some areas. Temperatures will also still feel mild tomorrow in the morning hours in some areas such as Ngabu, Nsanje and Mangoshi at 19 degrees Celsius, but we should expect cool temperatures over most areas in the southern part. We are also expecting cold conditions to persist over most areas in the central as well as the northern part of the country. Looking into the afternoon hours of tomorrow, we should expect partly cloudy conditions over most areas in the south, the central as well as the northern part of the country, accompanied by warm temperatures as well as occasionally windy conditions. Temperatures are also expected to remain warm tomorrow in the afternoon over most areas in the south, the central as well as the northern part of the country, but hot conditions will be expected in some areas such as Ngabu and Nsanje at 30 degrees Celsius. Looking into Friday, we should expect partly cloudy conditions accompanied by occasionally windy conditions to persist over most areas. We are also expecting cold to cool temperatures to persist at night as well as during early morning hours. I'm Tabwa Kutamutu. Be wise, be weatherwise.
And that brings us to the end of tonight's Luntha Television News Bulletin. But before we go, a look at our top stories. Pope Leo XIV says liturgical renewal and tradition strengthen evangelization. Government optimistic revised CDF guidelines will boost transparency and community-driven development. APAM calls for stronger protection of people with albinism after brutal killing in Chiluno. And in international news, scientists race to develop Ebola vaccine, but warn no shortcuts. For more updates, follow us on our social media platforms or visit our website. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Adams Mwenelpembe. Good night.